Welcome everyone to the next episode of Impactables with Rishav. Today we have Ravi from Honeywell. Welcome Ravi. How are you?
Thank you, Rishav. Nice meeting you, and thanks for inviting me here.
Thank you so much for coming, and I believe you will have an amazing experience in talking and
Yes,
sharing
of
your
course.
journey.
Yes.
So it's been 25 plus years for you,
Yeah.
and you have been in an industry which is called IP
Yes.
and research and IP all throughout your journey, which I was seeing.
Yes.
So can you talk about why did you ended up entering this segment, and how was the journey like?
Okay. Yeah, that's a basic question, of course. So I was pursuing academic research and finished my PhD from Indian Institute of Science. And for further research, I went to South Korea as a postdoctoral fellow. And my original intention was to come back to any IITs and IISc as a faculty. I mean, I wanted to continue my academic journey, but I found that it was not going in the way I wanted it to be. I had more opportunities abroad to continue my research, but I just wanted to come back. So back to India, and so I sent my requests, and then at that time to few friends, and one of them in Honeywell, my close friend. So he said, why don't you try this? I mean, this is coming up, and this is something that company will also value, your kind of experience. So I appeared for the interview, and then while being in Korea itself, over the telephone, so I cleared the interviews, and they were happy to hire me here. So I just joined. It was sort of an accidental entry. Of course, I knew about IP because being in IISc, many companies used to come and then trying to hire some of the prospective students. Why don't you come and join like Motorola GE at that time? So for academic researchers at that time, this was not the go-to job kind of a thing. I mean, for us, research was the go-to job based on our training. So this was an accidental entry, but when I joined, later on I got few offers like from IIT Bombay, why don't you come and join? So, but by then I was determined. I thought, okay, the destiny is taking me somewhere. I'll just go with it and see what happens. So that's how the journey started. It was necessity and an accidental entry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, like, what is IP actually? Like, when we say IP, how is the definition looks like? Like, for many people, the definition of IP is very different. For us,
Yeah.
we say we are creating a content IP.
Yeah.
So, for me, this podcast as a whole, if I name the podcast as Impactables with Rishav, this is my IP.
Yeah.
So, for every other people, the IP term is very different. So, for
Yeah.
what is IP actually?
So let's first talk about the concept of property.
Okay.
Right. So you have bought a plot of 60 by 40, like 2400 square feet in HSR. Right. And so that physical property is in your possession once you make the registration with government.
Correct.
So that is something that you hold in your name. Right. And this is like out of your hard earned money, and you have earned in some ways, job or business and everything. So, and you have registered your property, and then you can build the house. Others cannot come and build house in your plot.
Correct.
So this is the concept of property ownership. And now what is intellectual property? So intellectual property is something which is creation of the mind, right? So our mind creates everything, and then for that there is a value, and then you make business out of that, right? So there are many forms like copyright, which encompasses all the entertainment industry, music, performing arts, and everything, and trademarks, which is about brand names, like you Pixel. I'm sure.
R.
Yes,
we put R.
I'm sure you have registered it as a trademark.
Correct.
Right, and then also technical inventions, which are called, which are protected in the form of patents. Right. So this creation of the mind, the creativity, innovation is protected in the form of IP. Okay. So now you register this IP. If you don't register, then it's not in your name. Similar to the physical property, and you register with the state, and then you also publish your IP to outside. The state guarantees you, the rule of the law guarantees you that others cannot infringe on your intellectual property. Right? This is the core
All this
for
thing
the
comes under
property.
IP only, be it
Yes.
trademark,
Yes.
everything, property,
Yes.
IP, patents, everything.
Yes, trademark, copyright, even
Ah.
the semiconductor designs, and then plant varieties, and then the designs, right? And then also geographical indicators. So, and patents. So, patents is most talked about because technology is
Correct.
evolving. I mean, completely evolved, and then most of the engineers know about patents. But copyrights is also biggest form, and that's where the mag's money is. If you look at the movies, music industry, so they make most money. And the trademark is also big money spinner in terms of what's the valuation for a big brand. It's huge, much more than a patent.
Exactly. So, but when we talk about this trademark as a whole,
Mhm.
when we file a trademark for any brand,
Mhm.
instantly we can write TM kind of a symbol.
Yes.
Over a time, you get an approval of writing C.
Yeah.
Then you get that trademark, which is R.
Mhm.
How is like different from each other? Like in what stage I can be, someone can else can claim it.
Now, once you apply, you start using that.
Ha.
I mean, you have applied for the registration.
Correct.
And then the patent office,
Hmm.
patent and trademark office in India, if you applied for in India, then they will evaluate, is this a copy of somebody else? Is it very close to somebody else's
Ha.
name? Right? So, and finally they authorize. Basically, they give you the grant of that. Once it is granted, then that is in your name firmly. So, from the filing of the application to the grant, it takes a bit of time.
Ha.
Trademarks will not take too much of time, I believe, and patents will take 4 to 5 years from the application date to the grant. Because of the examination, then they have to see prior art. Is it obvious? There are many legal.
But why does it take so much time? Can this be smoothened when we? And have you
Mhm.
seen in your journey that previously it used to take 7 years, suppose?
Mhm.
Does that time decreased now, or like are you seeing that this can decrease more and more as we go ahead?
I am not seeing the decrease of the time. Honestly, it has stayed flat in India mostly 4.5 to 5 years, and even in US, it has stayed like that. 4 to 5 years is the average. That's because of the space is increasing rapidly. More and more innovations happening, more and more protection applications are coming up, and then the resources in the government, they are stressed, right? And they have to examine, and then also while examining, the prior art knowledge has also increased. Of course, the searching ability has improved. Unlike 25-30 years back, you went to the library to search. Today you can search in digital documents, but at the same time the document numbers have also gone up, and then technological interdependence has gone up, right? And that is where the time taken to process and examine, and then after examination, the examiner sends you certain questions.
Correct.
Right? And then you have to answer, and the entire process will take quite a
The
bit
objection
of time.
comes.
And objection comes, and then you should allow that. First is application is published. Once you make an application, and within 1.5 year, application gets published. Once it is published, then your competitors, and then anybody who thinks this is a wrong thing, I want to raise an objection. So that is also given as a time, and that also increases the grant time.
Now, for me, it took me 3 years to get that registered. 3 to 4 years actually. I registered in 2019 beginning.
Okay.
It was 2019 beginning actually, and my name was very familiar with the Pixel, Google Pixel actually. On pronunciation wise, it was very familiar.
Yeah.
I got 7 objections in this whole time.
Yes.
To prove that it is, so then they realized that it is having a different business line altogether.
Yes.
That time I made me realize that even if your name is sounding familiar, but the business lines are different, you will get a trademark.
You can get it. Yeah.
So is it same for patents also? Like for example, if you're targeting same industry, different industry, but your name, some kind of solutions are same.
It is not just about one name in patents. It's about technical invention.
Okay.
So the primary criteria to grant a patent, I mean, for you to get a patent, is that your invention should be completely novel. Nobody else should have invented that you are claiming, right? And then second thing is, it should not be very obvious. And your question largely falls into that obviousness. For example, if I have an invention, it's working in one industry domain, and same thing I just put it into another industry domain, can I get another patent? No. because it looks very obvious for a person who is ordinarily skilled in the art, right? So these two primary criteria plus applicability, right? I mean, it should be applicable to some industrial use. You might have a fantastic invention, but it's of no use, it's not functional, it cannot be made functional, then they don't grant it as a patent, right? So usually nobody goes without having application. Those are very less number of applications, but the two criteria are novel and non-obviousness.
So you have worked with like on publications also, right?
Yeah.
Research publications.
Yes.
And now Honeywell is more about hardware side kind of a thing, right?
Hardware and software. Fully hardware and software both.
So both were different when you worked as a when you used to manage the publications in terms of filing a publication and then research publications mostly, which I used to see in my college also. Professors used to keep filing and they used to put student name also in their publications. And when you work in the industry level, is it too different? How was the journey like?
It is different because see, I have published more than 20 papers in international journals during my academic research, and that is out of basic research. Okay. So we try to identify a research problem, scientific or engineering problem, and then we start working on that. So as we get the results, and then we publish that, and that is to communicate to larger peers across the world in the same field. And then I had to send back if there is any review. The editors actually send back some of the resumes, some of the publications. If I have copied something, then the others can actually come and tell me that okay, this is not original, so I will not let your publication be granted, right? So more or less it's a fair system, and it is mostly on the basic research, right? So it's not still finding the applications in the industry. What industry does is industry actually finds they encourage their inventors, engineers to find technical solutions to the technical problems, and then once they find a solution, they will protect it as their intellectual property. And these are two different things. I think first comes research, and from research to industry there is a huge journey, and that validation and then verification, right, and then product development. So it's a long journey between basic research to industry.
What was the difficult phase like when you filed multiple patents, multiple research paper? Where was the difficulties which you find that this areas I used to get stuck a lot, and this has overcome like this, like because you know that how to file it, how to write a paper. So what was the problem with people used to get stuck? Because nowadays I see a lot many PhD students keep doing that. And they might get stuck in many places. So what are the common areas people do get stuck?
During research publications? I think one thing is it's about the identifying the problem itself. Okay. Right? So if you are actually participating in a research program which is already saturated, right? And then you don't have many problems left. So then you don't have much research to do to solve those problems. Ultimately, in research or generally even in industry or even in life, it's like you evolve based on problem solving abilities. It can be technical problems, it can be many other social problems. So but there is a problem in research, and then you identify, and then you come out with a solution, and then you publish. So in a field where there is already a lot of publications done, it is already saturated. Now the identifying the problem itself becomes a big problem, right? So you cannot identify a significant problem to solve one. So if you don't solve a significant problem, your solution will not be significant. You can't really publish it. So you need to move to the next research program, identify larger problems, right? And then every research program has its shelf life, right? So what we try to do 20 years back, today it won't be it won't be very trendy, or it won't be very necessary or relevant, and that's how it goes.
Interesting. But now finding a problem statement is also a problem, I believe.
Yes.
As compared to 20-30 years before.
Exactly.
Because there are so many people are writing research papers as compared to before that.
So many are doing research, so many are participating, and then the fields are also evolving. So it's a challenge in itself. Even when we try to enter into the research field, I think the institute always gave literally 2 years of time. We had to perform the coursework and also do the literature survey, go to the library and keep finding what is happening in the world about this research program, and then see what are the gaps. That itself is a 2 years kind of a program, right? So once you have the problem identified, you discuss with your professor, and then you also go through certain examination process, and then everybody validates it's a decent thing, then the research problem starts, right? So it's not easy to find problems, also to find the gaps. One has to be skilled, one has to invest efforts in finding. You can't just enter, okay, I entered a PhD program and then I have a ready-made project or ready-made problem to solve. No, it doesn't work like that.
And is it compulsory even if someone is pursuing their research or PhD degree, they need to publish a research paper?
Yes, minimum.
Yeah,
there is a minimum criteria. At least in IISc, we had like at least minimum international journals 2 to get a PhD, and which were of high repute. Most of the times we had to do more, but that's the basic minimum. So any conference appearance and publication, that are also counted. So usually when you start a PhD program, you actually work on existing problem. Somebody else has worked, and then you repeat that, and then you see the repeatability of that, and that is also part of the training. And then you find out a problem, and then you work on the problem to provide solutions. Research solutions is the second step. And in that, if it is problem is novel enough and research solution is also novel enough, then you make the publication. At least 2 international publications were required at that time when I was doing, and more, usually we did more than just 2, right? So but that was the minimum.
Interesting. Yeah. So you also have also been a visiting faculty in South Korea for some time, right?
Yeah.
And you taught some students actually. So yes. Do you still do that, or like you miss those days?
Yeah, I actually, yes, I miss those days of teaching, because teaching makes you learn and then makes you alert, and you can't fail in front of the students. You have to be above them, right? Collectively, whatever they have,
you can't say wrong.
You can't say no, or once in a while you can say that I'll come back to you. But the amount of preparation that goes into that makes us better. So that's the beauty of teaching.
So do you go now also to some
occasionally colleges? Yeah, I do. So I have multiple interests. I mean, I go to some of the IITs and teach. May not be the old subjects, now that is not relevant to me, but about leadership, about IP, I do participate regularly. I mean, sometimes I visit the campuses if I can't. So recently I was doing one program with IIT Roorkee. So online. Last year I visited the campus. So, and then I'm associated closely with IIT Madras. So as and when there is a requirement, it's not a very strong kind of a thing. When there is a requirement, some of the people whom I know, so they do call. And then teaching, yes, I study parallelly, some of what is science, how it has evolved, basically philosophy of science. And then whenever there is an opportunity, when some of my friends, I don't publicize, and some of them invite, then I go and teach some aspects of those things.
Do you still do research, or like keep doing any kind of paper publications?
No research is being done, no publication. It's only the study. Write, read or whatever. So because the job itself is demanding. I mean, there is a lot of time that goes morning to evening. Mind is at least occupied, if not physically, but mind space is fully occupied to the work.
So anything which you observed, like you used to do a research long back, now you see that coming into existing now, or you see that problem being solved. Any interesting fact? Because today I used to think that we think that AI will come tomorrow, Now we see that this is happening.
Yeah.
But for you also, you might have seen those in 90s or like early 2000s that you're researching about this, and you saw that it is happening now.
Yeah.
Any interesting fact?
Not in my research field, because to be honest, most of the problems that we solve in academics, and they might be good problems to solve, there might be good solutions. but they may not find industrial use. I think majority don't find. Okay, and it depends on the area that you are making the research. Of course, if you talk about the latest AI related and then data science related, yes, a lot of things were happening. AI is not new. I mean, it's been there for 4 to 5 decades, right? So it's a cumulative effect, and then now what we see today is efforts of last 4 to 5 decades. So in my own area, I have not seen. I was working in certain area, and then am I seeing some products in the same field? If not my own research, out of my own research, but somebody else has done that. So it appeared like it was getting closer, but no, it is not adopted. Or even at that time itself, in my thesis itself, I could figure out the cost was much more than what people could spend, right? And basically, I was working on the pollution control, and using the plasma discharge. And if we had put that as a module inside an automobile, the energy consumption would have been more. So practically it works, but to fit it would have been more expensive.
Okay, for an automobile
industry, right? So I think my peers in Germany, US, Korea, Japan, many were doing it, those research aggressively at that time. But I don't think it's materialized as a product yet. So
interesting. Yeah. But do anyone, like, suppose you have published any research paper and tomorrow if someone is doing any, like, government level bodies are doing any kind of a research or practical implement and they have used your journal, for example, do you get some reward in that, or like any person gets rewarded for that?
No. In the case of publications, the mags, if they refer it, they have to actually cite it.
Okay.
So the only thing is that my citation will go up. So otherwise there is no monetary benefit.
No monetary benefit.
Yeah. In research, I think the motivation is to do the research.
Correct.
And then it's like create the knowledge and then share the knowledge, and then everybody learns from it and then move the field forward, more than getting our own dues back.
Interesting. People do make money by selling IPs, obviously.
Yes,
that is
they have protected. So long back when we were doing the research, IP was not the criteria that was set for success of academic researcher. So, but today I think government has introduced, even it's an incentive. If you have protected IP out of your research, and then that will also go into your metrics to measure your performance, basically during promotion and how you looked at as. Earlier it was purely publications. Today it is not just publications plus patents, plus also how many industries are you consulting. So that way it's a good challenge for most of the researchers in today's life.
Interesting. Yeah. Like in this, like, you are an IP researcher, an analyst, and now you're director of IP in a company. So how many people, like, I don't see this particular job, I think very frequently.
Yeah.
You are the first person I am speaking or came across, like, where I saw that this is a particular job role as a whole.
Yes.
Like, how many people are working in this sector? Like, is there any particular good set of job roles in this?
Oh yes. So I myself have 100-member team.
Okay.
And this is like, when I joined 20 years back, there were not many. So I was not into this profession earlier. So it's like most of the people were hired into, trained, and then this industry has grown. So today, I think in India, I would say easily 8 to 10,000 IP analysts would have been there. And mainly because, see, most companies like Honeywell has 45,000 patent assets. Okay.
45,000?
Yes. And then if you see Apples and Samsungs, they will definitely have more than 1 lakhs or 1.5 lakhs. And then every year
they need to keep reviewing.
Oh yes, there is a lot of work, filing to review, and then analysis, and then while acquisition, then you look into the portfolio of other company. It's a lot of work, analysis work, right? So this is something that was happening 20 years back, even today in many big companies in US law firms. And then these firms were expensive, and then to reduce the cost, I think many MNCs started investing in India GCCs, capability centers, right? Yeah. And some of them have grown, some of them have not grown, some of them have just limping. But in Honeywell, because of the right strategies, I think we have grown to a very big size. So all these 100 people work on the analysis, filing part, and then reviewing part, and due diligence.
And you lead all this 100 as of now over there.
I lead that 100. I mean, when I became a manager, I had like reporting of 12 to 15 people. So I think I grew the team from 15 back in 2012, 13.
How easy is to or difficult is to find this set of people who are working with you? For example, you said 8,000 to 10,000. Let's assume it's like you have 25,000 people also working.
Yeah.
It's not more. It is very less.
Yes.
Is it easy to find these people, or like you said, too much difficulty in finding them?
Not at all easy, because it's not the first choice.
Exactly.
People are not aware. And but when there are more graduates and more aspirants for the job, and then you talk to them, bring them on, and then train them, and then give them a stable career, decent pay, and then they will stay on, right? And then in India, there is no dearth of graduates, and then everybody would be looking for jobs. I mean, 10 years back, if I go to a good college and then top branch, they would say, no, I will not join you. Okay.
Correct.
But today that is changing. If I go, and then they are open to, most of the graduates are open to, right? Because they don't have earlier the concept was, I want to do the core job. But some of the core jobs are not paying well. Some of the analyst jobs are paying well. And then they know it's a evolving process. People learn from their seniors. If they have seen 4 years back from the same college, he has gone and then learned, and then he is earning more and he is in a comfortable position. So they will try to follow the suit. It's based on the references. Those references have increased. So we usually hire about 6 new graduates every year. From
these graduates colleges. Are like PhD graduates also?
No, masters and bachelors.
Masters and bachelors.
Yeah. So PhD we hire based on the references. I know some professor friends, they say this guy is good, looking for a job. If somebody is good, then we hire them and train them. Because I myself got trained, so I feel it's easy to train. We can also hire people from lateral industries.
Okay.
Yeah. So if somebody working in GE, somebody working in Philips, if we find them good, we hire. And also there are many KPOs, knowledge process outsourcing.
Knowledge processing outsourcing.
So IP is part of that. So many who cater to law firms in US and then companies in US or Japan or Europe. So they are also being trained there. So we hire them as well. So they are like already ready. They know the industry. If I hire a fresh graduate, we have to train them from the scratch.
So people do train such kind of people also.
Yes. Yeah. It's a
but again not a very big segment where people will get a job, right? A smaller.
It's not a big segment like IT, BT, or
content, all of those things.
Those are big. So this is a very niche area, and you don't get the brightest of the talents on their own coming here, right?
You have to find them or
you have to find them. Like we were having a discussion, go to tier 2, tier 3 colleges, and then find the best pick there, and then bring them here and then train them. So they tend to stay. We have tried to hire people from IITs. They are definitely good, but they don't tend to stay long. So those experiments I have done a lot, and then now I have found a place where to source and then hold on to.
Since you have been working in a single company for 15 years, how often do you see now someone is joining in 2020 or 21 after 2020?
Yeah.
Do you see them working for sticking to for this many duration for long?
No, they don't. In fact, honestly, so I think post COVID, our attrition rates became very high. So it's like what we had before 2020, I may have just 8 to 10% of those people left. Okay. And every year for continuously 3 years, roughly about 20+% people left. Especially in 22, 23, when the demand was high, many people made movements here and there. So I think they don't tend to stay long.
And even if in an established company, people are not staying.
Yes. With everything being good,
and
also people being cared, right? And in I think there is a lot of investment by global companies on the people. So people focused, and then you don't have to worry. You just have to focus on the work. So even then, so people like they leave. It happens.
What do you see today if you are hiring some fresh graduate from college? You say go to tier 2, tier 3 city or any tier 1 college also.
Yeah.
What do you see the most actually in them when you hire?
One thing is we have an established setup like staffing itself. So there is a university relations that itself is a department. So they have established relations with these colleges, and then they filter out a lot using the data. That they ask me which branch I need: electrical, electronics, right, and mechanical, chemical. So in that they and then go talk to placement cell, and then they say I want anything above 8 CGPA. That's the first filter. Okay. So, and then if they are not available, we go to other college. I mean, sometimes it happens that we don't end up hiring, but there are certain filters. The first filter itself, anything above 8 CGPA, and then we talk to them. For my field, we first ask them, what was the project that you have done? What is your favorite subject? And then if they end up answering well on those, and also we give them a patent to read, and then they come back and they describe what they have understood. If it is more or less in sync, so we think it's a good candidate. It's about ability to learn, right? And how quickly they grasp any technology.
But it can happen like for people having below 8 CGPA also might be a good person.
Quite possible, yes.
Because I have seen that, because I had a friend, he had 3 CGPA, till today he has not have a degree. But now he earns 2.5 CR a year as a software developer in a very good company.
Yes.
Because in engineering, what I see, people should know how to develop products.
Yes.
Theoretical companies started seeing that actually.
Yes.
They've stopped seeing the degrees, and after that, technical knowledge in terms of that. In this also, like as a time passing on, like previously in engineering also we used to get hired by as a CGPA only.
Yes.
But over the time, people started seeing that skills also. In this also, people, when you talk, you find a skill.
Can be good. We can't rule it out. It's just that big companies operate what is easier.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, why do big companies go to established colleges? And tier 1, tier 2, why is this made? It's to reduce the
friction,
overheads, right? It's more predictable.
You will have 90% time you will find a good person.
So if you see that, okay, I want to focus only on somebody who has 6 CGPA and then 7 CGPA, and then to get that miracle person, is the probability is very low, right? So there may be more people who don't end up doing good. Maybe one will do dramatically better, but that person may not want to join me. I mean, he want to be doing business on his own. He want to be an entrepreneur. Then why should I even bind him to my profession, my function? That's the probability, right? Big companies look to have the predictable and then stable processes.
Exactly. And apart from filing patents, what do you like doing the most?
No, I handle the entire analytics segment for the company. Filing is just one part of that, and we get involved in mergers and acquisitions. We get involved in IP monetization, IP litigations. So it's a large process that we handle for the global company. So this is the work, right? I mean, I have a huge task in managing multiple stakeholders across the company, and also large number of people inside the company. So the job itself is overwhelming. Beyond that, yes, I mean, I have friends, networking. I love farming. I have a farm, so which I spend. I mean, evening. It's about 35 kilometers from my home. So not in Bangalore. Bangalore is very expensive, but it's in a place outskirts of Bangalore. So weekend I spend some time there. So, and then of course children, and then family time.
So you do that entire traditional farming, that kind of a thing, or like something you keep implementing?
Not so much rigorous because of the demands of the job, but I think I planted coconut trees and they are coming up. So I constructed a small house, so I spend one day at least in a week.
Interesting.
So that's my other getaway. I mean, off late I don't enter into the city at all. So it's very difficult. So back when I came to Bangalore in '98, in IISc, it was a very good place to be inside. We never got out, and now also I don't like to get out. The fun of going inside the city is difficult.
Correct.
So I'm trying to escape. So going outside the city.
Let's see how long we will be escaping, but it's increasing.
Not easy because there also it's slowly getting crowded. Outskirts are also getting.
And outskirts are no more outskirts now.
No more outskirts. Yes, exactly.
Everything is inside Bangalore.
Like you said, even Tumkur, I feel it's part of Bangalore. Yeah, it is like that now.
I never considered it outskirts.
Yeah, it's almost like twin cities. Even Mysore, you don't feel outskirts because of the time.
In 1.5 hours, you can reach over there.
Yes.
It's no more an outskirts. It's like going from here to some other inside the city.
It's a region. Like NCR is, now it is. Yes.
Interesting. One last thing, when you would say to any person, like when they're entering into this sector, like be it for as a job purpose or someone doing research, what is one thing they need to keep in mind?
So I think people should be able to love the reading analysis part. It's more to do with the knowledge piece, right? Somebody is good at creating stuff in a hardware kind of an atmosphere. He may not or she may not like this. So somebody who has the ability to think, the ability to read tons of pages and come out with their own insights, that analytical mindset is very much important. So not everybody fits into this, and that is where we also have good filters, right? So that is the key thing, and that patience is also necessary.
Oh, this is very patient because people need to read a lot. Actually.
Read a lot.
You cannot do ChatGPT everywhere.
Yeah. So I loved always a lot of reading. So when I entered into this job, I didn't really miss research. Of course, I was doing experiments and then getting into details and deeper part of the thing. So to some extent here also we have it, right? You read, you keep learning, right? Every day there is something different learning. So that gives a good kick, and that's how I continued. Yes, the profile of the job has changed, my role has changed, but I have enjoyed reading, analyzing. I think it's a rewarding career. But it's not a very rockstar kind of a career as well, right? I mean, it does not go down, it does not go up. It stays in certain balance and it stays long. If you develop good skills, I think one can do it for long. So, for example, for a technical guy, somebody did C++ long back. So, for them, Java, then Python, and then it keeps changing. And then now with Gen AI, so you don't need too many programmers as well. But for us, it's like whatever the technology changes, we keep reading the new technology. Whatever comes up. So when I was an analyst myself, so I used to read certain inventions.
You guys cannot do that. 10 pages, give me a summary actually.
Yes.
You guys cannot do that.
Yeah.
You need to read those 10 pages.
Yes.
Because summary will not tell you those things, what those 10 pages will tell.
Exactly. So we keep upgrading ourselves with the technology. Any new technology that comes up, we read it and analyze that. So that way we go with the progression. So that way the career is also quite stable in terms of volatility against the volatilities.
Cool. Interesting. With this, thank you so much for coming.
No, my pleasure, and nice talking to you.
Same
and
here.
Great questions.
Thank you so much.
Okay.